Is Triple H set on changing WWE Title Belt designs? We've got leaked details of Tony Khan's backstage meeting. And WWE Survivor Series sells out instantly. Find out all the deets in a bit. So one of the big sticking points over sort of the PG-ification of WWE was things like the spinner belt, which eventually gave way to the scratch logo belt, which eventually gave way to the current belt, which, you know, it's genius by the company. There's a huge logo right there, front and center. Wherever there's a picture of the champion, the logo's there. But it just feels a bit corporate. It doesn't feel like a prize anymore. And there's just a bit of a rumbling on the wind that Triple H is going to listen to the audience again.
It seems that way. Maybe, anyway. So, this comes from belt fan Dan, who has got a tremendous history. He makes his own belts, obviously, but also he's broken various belt-related scoops before. He took to Twitter yesterday and said, "Rumor mill says that Triple H is making numerous belt design changes." So yeah, he's been at the center of loads of designs for loads of promotions.
Yeah.
So he knows his stuff, this guy. Very, very interesting. And I've been sort of racking my brains trying to think what he might be changing. I don't think it'll be the WWE or Universal title.
I think it will.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think it'll mark a whole new era if you just get a whole new set of belts.
I can't see them... maybe they'll change it a little bit. It'll still be the logo. Because they give them out to all the sports teams and that.
They might downsize it slightly so it's not like the central thing, but it'll still be slap bang in the middle.
You reckon?
But I think we might have maybe a return to, if we're lucky, an Attitude Eagles styled thing. You can still slap a big dirty logo on top of that, but just having it be more ornate. Because if you put it side by side with the AEW belt, right? Just to compare them, the WWE one's got all those gems and jewels on it and everything, but it just doesn't look like it's jewelry, does it? It doesn't look like it's kind of...
I get you.
It's just a logo. So I think having all the little extra bits around it, making it really ornate.
It looks like they're about to be scrapping the prettiest belt in the NXT UK title, doesn't it? That's on its way out.
They should really just keep that and update the map on it or whatever, and just keep that design just European.
Maybe this is part of it because they are doing all these unification matches.
Yeah.
Maybe this could be NXT related. Maybe they're updating the NXT stuff. Ooh. Maybe Triple H has got his hand in there. I'm trying to think on the main roster. I'd be up for the tag titles getting changed.
Yeah, tag
the
belts
IC one doesn't do much for me. They've only recently changed the US.
New, so I think IC and US will stay for a while.
IC's been around for a few years. The US is more recent, isn't it?
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been a few years now. I think so anyway. Yeah. Sammy and
it was Nakamura, I think.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So we'll keep you updated. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
We get some good stuff.
It's an exciting time to be a wrestling fan.
Well, you think about the titles that Trips was introducing in NXT when he was properly in control. The North American belt's a beautiful one. So I think he's got good taste.
Yeah.
Say that much anyway. Yeah. We've got more info on the Tony Khan-led AEW talent meeting. This is from The Observer again. What's Dave saying there, Sammy?
So he says that one wrestler noted to them that Khan made it very clear he wasn't going to be a pushover for demands by the talent. Ooh.
Juicy.
They have a lot of instances where talent of late have made demands on what they want in regard to the pay-per-view, and in some cases Khan has done that thinking the proposed ideas were maybe better than what they had in mind, and in other cases he hasn't. In one case it apparently involved shaking up the entire show, even though the match that would result, which would be Young Bucks versus FTR, would probably have been better or the best match on the show. In the instance that the decision was already made for the Trios tournament, bringing back Kenny Omega, that sort of didn't go through. But I think, it's... I feel like we're reporting on a lot of things, like at the minute in regards to sort of backstage politics and it all kind of getting out. And I think that, we've had the announcement recently, Tony Schiavone and a whole host of people have moved into talent relations positions. So hopefully this is, if it is, genuine, if this is sort of happening on the regular, it'll start to even out with more talent relations going on.
Yeah, I hope so. My impression is that I don't want to say the inmates are running the asylum or anything like that, but you sort of got hints of that at point that maybe things will go. And I think that's a sensible thing for Tony to just come out and say, I'm not going to be a pushover. It needs strong leadership. People need to realise that he is the guy that's in control.
Yeah.
His is the final word. And to reiterate that, it's probably not a bad idea.
It's a very fine line to walk, though, for them, isn't it? Because AEW, from day one, have kind of always been more about, hey, if the talent have ideas, let's listen, let's try and incorporate them. So I think they maybe have to do a bit more than WWE in regards to, entertaining the ideas of some of the talent.
It's a really tough one to balance, isn't it? Because, you do want to listen to the talent because they have brilliant ideas.
Yeah.
They often know their characters the best. But ultimately, you do need to take control when necessary. So some interesting notes coming out about that meeting. There's more on cultaholic.com. We've got an update on Warner telling AEW to tone the language down.
So it was apparently sort of previously reported on recently that a recent report indicated that WBD had told All Elite Wrestling they would like the language on the show to be toned down. Fightful Select have provided an update on the matter, noting that AEW told them that they believe this was quote taken out of context from the all-talent meeting on Wednesday regarding promos and talent going into business for themselves. The point of the quote was to stress that they could get network heat if they fly too close to the sun, but Fightful was told this was not an edict from the network, and this is just sensible broadcast practice.
Yeah, exactly. I think when you're swearing and stuff like that, it needs to be agreed with management. You can't have people, and where they're given a lot more creative freedom in their promos, you don't want to extend that to people just randomly saying a naughty word. Yeah, because if you do too much,
the tone of what you're saying, especially if there's anything in particular going on in the world, you need to kind of run all that by them. And hey, they might even do the whole thing where it's like you get 5 S words a month, you get this many that or whatever, and they can kind of fall within that remit. But yeah, if you start straying too far beyond those boundaries, then you're kind of done.
Yeah. I want them to do the old the South Park thing. Put the counter in the corner.
Every single time.
Cop drama. Was it just called cop drama? Something like that.
Moving on to Survivor Series news now, with the report that it sold out instantly. I don't know if this is just bots or what, but
some of them will be.
Taking place in Boston, Massachusetts, WWE Survivor Series sold out instantly for its general public sale. A limited number of premium tickets were added, most of which have also already sold by this point. So good luck getting to Survivor Series. Wow.
It's the worst of the big four, in my opinion. Yep. The hype generally isn't there for Survivor Series.
Because it's red versus blue. Oh, who can they coexist?
And for them to go like that... shows the excitement that is surrounding WWE right now and the optimism that Triple H is going to be booking something really enjoyable to watch. And I'm so chuffed. I'm seriously loving the fact that everybody's so high on WWE right now because it's exhausting and
it feels
boring,
like 5-6 years straight we've just had this kind of run of just, it just feels like it was always negative, and it was always sort of just negativity, and we've not really had much to look forward to in WWE land, have we? So
no, there's been brilliant moments, obviously, and I think the pay-per-views that they've been putting on in the Vince McMahon era as well, recent years, have been largely really enjoyable. But everybody's into it at the moment. I'm not suggesting that this is going to kick off a boom attitude era, like everybody's talking about wrestling again, but it's just nice to be celebrating something that's fun.
We definitely have the tech for them to go clone Andre and Hogan and just rerun 3 again.
They do, that'll do it. Yeah. That'll do it. You can get the holograms, can't you?
Yeah,
who performed on stage?
Tupac did, Dio did it. So it's been a whole host of people. Yeah, Dio's wife took Dio out on the road as a hologram.
Is he dead?
And he'd come out, he'd come out with like a little towel with the town name on it.
Is that Holy Diver? Holy Diver!
Swords and sorcery.
That's the only way I know them. Sorry, metal fan. I'm assuming it's metal?
Ending on some rather sad, but I guess in a way hopeful news here. Will Ospreay has, after dropping his British heavyweight title to Ricky Knight Jr. on August 21st in London, announced that he's going to be taking a break. Basically, he came back right off a kidney infection that left him with 104-degree fever, and it could have been fatal.
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. Celsius. You just sat there bubbling. But then he went right back in, doing all the big matches, crazy 9-day run with 3 Budokan Hall matches, 2 shows in the UK, and then AEW. He's apparently going to be doing a lot less indie stuff and UK stuff going forward, and he's going to instead focus on New Japan, but he's going to be set on taking less dates there as well. So
it's not surprising, man.
No, I mean, it's...
I'm glad he's okay, because it was a really serious thing that he went through.
God, yeah.
His in-ring style is bonkers and will have worn down his body massively.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear. And I really, really admire Ospreay in his persistence on the UK indie scene as well as overseas as well. He feels like somebody who has given back and given back and given back.
He
doesn't need to be doing any of this stuff, does he? He really doesn't.
No.
Like, he's making
enough. He could just be out in Japan, just working
he's
that
making
schedule.
plenty of money there, I'm sure. He's doing it because I actually think he really does care about indie wrestling, and props to him for that. So I hope he's getting on all right. And good luck to him, because he's pretty beat up, I imagine.
Yeah, so fingers crossed he can get a nice bit of R&R. But that's it for the news today. Chill out, Will. You backflipping madman,
former Pacitti Club member.
Exactly. You're basically like his father figure in wrestling. He has said that many times.
Him his big break. Yeah,
when Paul Heyman offered him that contract, he secretly tore it up and was just like Pacitti Club for life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
too right.
Bye.
See you in a bit.